People usually identify themselves with their body's appearance and origin. I would describe myself as a white Bulgarian and you as Indian Muslim. When we speak to each other, I also perceive your body as Ashraf Murad, and you perceive my body as Antonia. You spoke about disidentifying with the tribal consciousness from which we originate, while we still can enjoy the perks of this consciousness. You say that in the identification with culture creates separation, while we are one humankind and all are interconnected. Can you explain more about how we as humans can release the separation and enter into unity consciousness?
So, yes, again, people identify themselves with their bodies. And so the body has certain, let's say, genes. And so you might say you are from Europe, your body is from Europe, and you are European, and you have European genes. You might say that you are thus European, and you are a female, so you might say I'm a woman. And my body is a male body, having a certain chromosome. It develops into a male body, and so I will say I'm a male, you are a female. But your body is female and my body is male, and your genetics is European, as you say, Bulgarian. My genetics is from the Indo-Pak subcontinent, which is Indian. But I am not Indian. My body is Indian. My genes is Indian. Your body is European. Your genes are European in a sense. And so culture is an identification with the mind of the Bulgarian or the Indian. The more I disidentify from the genes of the body and the culture of the ego, meaning I'm not identified with it. I can enjoy a samosa or roti, but that doesn't make me what I think that makes me. Or somebody might think, well, if you like samosas and if you like roti, which by the way I don't like samosas, but somebody might say, you guys eat this, so y'all are Indian, and I say, you guys eat that, so y'all are that, This is very limited view and restrictive. We are people who can connect with universal values beyond cultural values. Not to say there's something wrong with cultural or tribal values, but you don't have to identify with them. I might enjoy Bulgarian meal, more than certain Indian meals, or maybe not. And you might enjoy certain Indian meals more than Bulgarian meals. So when we identify with the body and the genes and we say I am Indian or you are European, and the culture that the body was located in with the tribe that it comes from, we maintain that egoic separation, you and me. In the meantime, we are human beings, identified with certain tribal ways. And that's how you get separation. Now, we can enjoy our own and each other's cultures and contributions, experiences that each other's cultures have, the Indians produced the zero, changed mathematics forever. The Arabs produced the Arabic, alphabet, and so on and so forth, and the other contributions. We can learn through the evolution of different tribes. The problem is when you identify and separate, that you and I, you are different and I'm different. In the meantime, we are human beings. A white horse and a black horse or a brown horse is still a horse. I mean, at a fundamental level, we are all spiritual beings. We can be with each other without disconnecting from each other, and we can appreciate the differences and the nuances, but we can still come from, we are one family, one people. So I don't have to relate to you through a general agenda filter, that I'm a man, so you're a woman, now let's contrast, let's identify. I will identify with my people, the males, you identify with your people, the females. Now, whatever is, collectively in consciousness of the female and the male will play out between us through those roles, identities and roles. Or we can connect as human beings, people, spiritual beings, allowing, accepting and appreciating of each other, recognizing value in each other, and not disconnecting from each other. So, we can be the best of friends and enjoy having different dietary preferences. That doesn't have to make us separate. We can be universal spiritual beings, sharing the same universal spiritual values of peace, of connection, operating in alignment with spiritual principles. We are one people. We can submit to the one power. So all of humanity is one family, and there is one creator. There's one spiritual law. There is only one way of connecting, one faith, one peace, one joy, one love. Multidimensionally, we are one. It's the same experience. The peace that I feel, you can feel. The peace that I can feel, you can feel. The appreciation that I can experience, you can experience. When you calculate and I calculate, it's universal mathematical principles. So there's no separation, there's no division, but there can be an appreciation without identification. And that is only possible if you're multidimensionally aware and multidimensionally experiencing. So I trust that clarifies further what we've been talking about.